Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I am bringing you a 3 vs 3 siege in Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. And as you can see, I'm pouring forwards 2 units of my mounted free company. I kind of want them outside the city to be used later on in the battle. I'll go hide them somewhere on the map and wait until later. But yes, it looks like we've escaped pretty much without any hits whatsoever, so that is excellent. The bombardment phase has begun, and we're probably going to have to pause it here just to do a quick overview of the battle and the map, and then we'll get the battle started. Because as you can see, that we've already got some of the siege towers moving forwards. So let's go ahead and just pause this real quick and take a look at the battle map first. So this is the city of Cath. I'm going to start including what city or land battle I am playing, just because a lot of you guys were asking what I was playing, basically, and I couldn't really remember where I'd seen it or where I'd played it before. So before I forget, this is the city of Cath, and this really favors the defenders. It's a pretty strategic city, if I must say. You can see that the balance of power isn't in our favor. They do have a 400-man advantage. But aside from this long wall, which favors the Kingdom of Jerusalem over here, because this is going to be a hard wall to defend, everything else is pretty in the defender's favor. As you can see, we can fall back to these 2 bridges here and block off the access to the inner sanctum of the city, per se. And then for this attacker over here, the Hungarians, they're going to have a tough time because their only attackable wall is right here. And then they have this one gate here as well. So very, very limited expansive movement. And then at the back, I should show you the keep here if we just kind of take a look at the keep. So we've got 2 kind of roads that lead up into it. And then this is a really neat thing. You can actually attack from this back wall. Some people don't know this, but you can actually put siege towers up here or make breach points. And then move in this way, kind of a back door right into the inner sanctum of the city. So this player here, the Latin Empire, he's going to be taking this rear wall and this gate over here. And this is my charge, so I'm going to be facing the Latin Empire, and I am playing as the Republic of Venice. And then looking over here at the Kingdom of Jerusalem, we have the Second Bulgarian Tsardom, or the Bulgarians. So they're charged with holding Jerusalem at all costs. And then the Hungarians over here, they're going to be up against the Sicily, or the Kingdom of Sicily. I wanted to say Sicilians, but it is technically the Kingdom of Sicily is what they are called. So yeah, let's run over these army comps really, really quickly. So starting with mine, I've got 2 units of these Piscieri of the late period, so they're going to be pretty deadly. And then my meat and my army over here, my elite of the elite, I've got 2 units of these foot condottieri, and then 4 units of these Lancia Sargente. Probably, I'd say, the best spears in the game, if not up there in the top 3. Really, really solid spears. Expensive, though. And then I've got my general over here, the Doge of Venice. I've got him dismounted here. I really love dismounting my generals before a fight, kind of waiting until he's needed on areas of the battlefield. And then I've got 4 units of these Militia Acrieri. So just a tier 1 light bow unit, just to kind of get some harass off. And then I have 4 units of free company footmen. I've got 2 over here and 2 at the gate. I've got my 2 units of mounted free company that you already saw moving out. And that's about it. So let's take a look at my opponent over here. So Latin Empire, he's got some mercenary men-at-arms. And then just a bunch of this sword milice of the late period on his ram and siege towers. And he's got some foot sergeants of the early period for spears, more sword milice. He's got his cavalry over here, his chevalier. He's got the Latin emperor here, all nice and purple. So that's him there. And he does have a catapult. The rules were one art per attack, or sorry, 1 art per defender and 2 art per attacker. But the Latin Empire only brought 1 catapult, so that's going to be a bit of a disadvantage for him in a siege battle. And you can see that I've already broke 1 with my Bastion Bombard. I'm really focusing that catapult. And for his archers, he's got some Pavis crossbows and some foot Turcopoles. So that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at the Hungarians real quick. So again, bringing a very elite army. He's got some halberdiers here, Hungarian knights. He's got Matthias Rex, who we'll take a look at in a moment. He's got some sergeants, 4 units of Pavi's crossbows, Paviziers. He's just got a lot of late period sergeants on the siege towers. Another unit of Hungarian knights, and see, he's brought a great bombard and a catapult, so that's going to help him kind of break down the walls a little bit faster. More halberdiers there, so let's take a quick look at Matthias Rex and then move forwards. There he is, all in gold, looking very glorious. And let's jump. So actually, the Sicilians are the ones tasked with holding the Hungarians off, but they're kind of all mixed together, so I'll just kind of overview their forces. So everybody's brought a catapult, and the Sicilians, they got some Lancia Sargente as well. We've got some boyars over here for the Bulgarians, but we got the King of Sicily of the early period, more foot condottieri. Got some Spadaccini of the high period for Sicily, more Lancia Sargente. We got over here more Spadaccini, Balistarie, and then he's got 2 units of Piscieri and more Spadaccini, just a lot of Spadaccini. And then we'll look at the Bulgarians. Most of their forces are here because they're taking on Jerusalem. So we got some Bulgarian heavy spearmen here. Got some heavy infantry, heavy crossbows, heavy infantry, Bulgarian guard. These guys look pretty sweet, I do have to say. We just kind of remove the HUD, zoom in a little bit. Yeah, they look pretty sweet, pretty elite. Really nice halberds. And then we got some more of the heavy infantry. This is kind of cheaper tier 2 infantry. You got some heavy archers here. And that's pretty much it for them. Last army, guys, thanks for sticking with me, is the Kingdom of Jerusalem. So he's got a great bombard and a catapult as well. And we got some Crusader Milites. Got some Urbem Hesterum Loricati, which are pretty interesting. Hospitaller Dismounted Turco Polier. These guys are pretty cool because they're kind of like Armenian archers, so they're kind of taken from the eastern ranks. They're tier 3 though, so they should be pretty good in battle. And then on the towers we got some Crusader Armati and a ton of military order swords. Got some Crusader Milites back there, got a couple of Poland knights. And then we got the Kingdom of Jerusalem right here. Oh, the English king actually leading the Kingdom of Jerusalem today. Very interesting. Okay, so let's put this on play here. If you guys are not interested in hearing the army comps, I can actually start putting in the description when the battle actually begins. So let me know if that's something that you really want. I kind of like to just go over the army compositions because it helps players to see what's good, what's bad, what worked well. But yeah, we've got the Onager, or the catapult, focusing my Bastion Bombard over here. We got the siege towers moving in though. Let's go ahead and jump into this bombard here. Take a look at their viewpoints. So yeah, that is pretty formidable to see all these massive heavy siege towers moving forwards. Getting some fire off. I think I pretty much wiped out his catapult though. Oh, no, he's still got 3. With a lot of ammo left as well. So we're pretty much going to focus on my battle first because he's really the main person that starts the fighting. The Hungarians hold off until the very last, and the Kingdom of Jerusalem does focus on taking this wall, but there's not really any action until this battle is almost wrapped up. So we're mostly going to focus over here. But yeah, at this point I realized that he doesn't have a bombard, so there is no reason, if you can keep these towers going, there's no reason why you shouldn't be putting troops on the wall. So I realized that he doesn't have a bombard, he only has a catapult. He's not going to be able to take down any of my towers at all. So you can see I'm pushing forwards my Free Company footmen onto the walls. Now we're going to be going up against some of the Sword Milice tier 3, so they are going to be pretty elite. but with the help of the arrow towers, I might be able to turn it into my favor. Oops. Wow, come on, camera. There we go. That's a nice shot. You can see them quickly rushing up onto the walls. And we'll watch the siege tower come down as well. I'm just pushing up as many men as I can at this point. There we go. And look, the siege tower is starting to smoke, so I think my arrow towers are starting to set it on fire, so it won't even be able to be used if it catches. Yeah, so there's a lot of smoke over there. Over here, you can see that they did get their sword milice onto the walls pretty effectively, and they're going to slaughter my bombard crew. But I've got my free company footmen over here, and we're going to push them into it. And I'm also rushing forwards my archers to get a good flanking shot here. And what I've got with this unit is I'm just going to block off this road here because of this one unit of mercenary men-at-arms that's coming over onto this section of the wall. But it looks like this catapult crew over here is breaking. They must have gotten too close, or this catapult was firing on it or something. But the Crusaders, you can see, have broken down most of the towers. Or sorry, yeah, the towers. And look over here. We've managed to destroy one of these siege towers with fire. With our fire arrows, I should say. And now we've got some fighting on the walls. Oh, there it goes. There was this little floating guy. So it has crumbled, and we are definitely going to be slaughtering the sword milice on these walls. Let's go ahead and put it to slow motion just so we can kind of jump in and see what's going on. So yeah, with these massive heavy shields, these sword milice are good. They are a tier 3 unit, but we've just got so much armor and so much melee defense that it's going to be really hard for them to do anything. Go ahead and pop that back onto play. You can see he's got another unit over here of sword milice, and he's pushing forward his halberdiers as well, or his mercenary men-at-arms, but they are just getting hit pretty hard by archer fire as they move forwards. Got the crossbows for the enemy in range as well, but you can see I've got my archers set up here, so they are basically just firing right into the flanks. Whoops.
Ready to fire!
So we can see up on the walls there. So yeah, there they go. Getting some good shots, and you can see that this siege tower is also on fire as well. So that is really, really good. I basically nerfed this entire force. They won't be able to deploy any more soldiers on this section of the wall except by this one siege tower, which is pretty much a massive choke point for the enemy. I would not want to be coming up that tower at all. It's going to get a little framey, guys, just as the units start to die. So yeah, we're doing pretty well over on this flank. Let's just run over to the tower section of the wall. Oh, and over here you can see that I just was able to break these mercenary men-at-arms so easily. And the reason for that is they took a lot of arrow fire as they were coming up and then around towards my men. And we've got some of my ally, the Sicilian player. He's moving forward some swords as well to help out. You can see my free company are getting kind of cut down. But over here I've activated my mounted free company. You can see I got a good charge over here into this sword milice unit, and I actually am breaking it. That was a fully... I always want to say fully healed, but that's not really the word. But it was a full strength unit, that's the word. But the Latin Empire is charging forwards all of his cav over here. I'm more than happy for that to happen because now he's brought his general and his cavalry into range of my towers. So that's a pretty good option for me. This mounted free company, it's pretty cheap. It's done what they need to do. So let's go ahead and pop this to slow motion here so you can kind of see what's happening. So yeah, that unit was completely wiped out. I've got my other unit of mounted free company. I'm going to charge after these archers over here. He is getting some good fire on me, though. I've got to watch that. Yeah, here I go, turning around my unit to go after these archers. Hopefully this is going to be a nice charge. Let's go ahead and zoom forwards. Probably going to be nerfed by some of these retreating units. Oh no. Yeah, there we go. Still getting a decent charge, though. Into these foot chokepoints. Very nice. So yeah, that's starting to weaken them down as well. So pretty effective fighting against the Latin Empire. The only reason for that being is just because these arrow towers. From playing Attila and its mods, you know that the arrow towers can rack up a ton of kills. So since he wasn't able to destroy any of them, to not fight for the walls would be pretty foolish on my part. Which is why I opted to get up here and cause some mayhem. As you can see, a lot of my units are just finishing off the last of this sword milice. Got some jumping mace attacks. Ooh, just dodged that. What? he just fell over. He's like, yeah, all right, and then he just like turns around, trips over a body. Oh well. So yeah, it looks like they've got like 3 more units over here. The Latin Empire, unfortunately. I've pretty much completely wiped out his forces on these walls. And without these siege towers, he really just couldn't funnel any more men up here on these walls at all. Let's go ahead and put this back on play. You can see the showering of my archers that are firing on all these units up here. He does have 3 units. He's got his halberdiers and his 2 units of sword milice. But there's a lot of archer fire coming down, and again, these spears are bred to hold. They will hold on the walls all day long. Oh yeah, just showering them. Let's just jump in and see how the rest of the battle is going. So Hungary has engaged, but they're not faring too well either. Sergeants of the late period getting pretty wrecked. We got, again, the Lancia Sargente for Sicily holding back some of these Hungarian sergeants. You can see the battle line pretty clearly right here. Or not so clearly. He's got a couple units of archers up here as well. What do we got over here? We got a siege tower moving forwards. Oh yeah, it looks like he's going to try to put a siege tower over on this section of the wall, which is pretty smart. He's got to open up his options a little bit better than that, than just those 2 choke points. We got the Grand Master of the Hospital, who's actually, you know, made landing inside the wall, but he is getting hit pretty hard by archer fire as well. He's going to have to be careful there. But again, they're pretty much conquering this wall without any trouble at all. The reason for that being is because there's no more of the arrow towers. They don't exist. So to fight for the walls would be excruciatingly difficult and very bloody. You would lose a lot of men that way. But you can see I've got 2 units of my archers. I want to try to focus on that Crusader Armati unit that's up on the walls there. But we've just about wrapped up this side of the battle, and we will be starting to look in other areas. You can see I've moved my archers to a better position over here. Not all of them are firing just because they're so close. Or actually, a number of them are firing, so that's good. Again, just getting a ton of kills. You can see some of them with like 2 or 3 arrows sticking out of their back.
To admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
Prepare to fire!
Here comes another volley. Just want to wait and see that. Ooh, getting a couple of friendly fire kills there against my spears. But yeah, they're starting to break. Not looking good for the Latin Empire at this point. They're shaken. I think all they have left now is their cavalry. It's because their last unit of spears here is starting to break, the foot sergeants. But the Hungarians are doing well. They're being very cautious. They're not funneling all of their men into this one choke point, which is very good. Let's go ahead and just get a little bit of slow motion again. I respect the fact that he's also using this tactic here of putting his archers into, you know, in viewpoint of the opening and then trying to fire through. The only problem with that is that his units are obstructed. If you see on the little crossbow insignia, actually if you see on the Sicilian ones, it's the same. When the little archer insignia is red, it means that it's obstructed, so it can't actually fire into your target because there's friendlies that are blocking it. So it's a good position for him setting it up here, but until this sergeant unit for Hungary breaks and they have a clear line of sight to these Sicilian spears, they won't be able to fire. But it looks like the sergeants are getting pushed back out of the city. Yep, there they go, just taking off. They're like, I'm out of here. This is not a battle I want to die for. And they're just gonna head back out of the city. And now you can see that the crossbows for Sicily are starting to get some shots off, because now there's kind of a free line of sight. But I'm sure that means the Hungarian crossbows will be able to fire as well. And it looks like he's sending up another unit of sergeants, so... But, as I said, with the Italian spears, you can fire at them all day long. And they will just soak up the damage. Taking a look over here, the Crusader player, he's playing it very smart. He's got his archers up on the wall. And he's just destroying this spear unit here of Bulgarian spearmen. Oh, man. That is tough to see. If you can see, they've conquered the gate as well, so they're moving in all of their elite troops. That looks so awesome. Bringing in their spears. And they're going to rush them to either side to protect behind the buildings so that they don't get shot up. That's another good tactic there. But we are well defended at these bridges to hold. And over here too, as you can see, these units, I don't really need them right now anymore, just because we were able to get rid of most of the Latin Empire forces. So I've kind of formed this little box around the gate. So if the Latin Empire cavalry does decide to charge in here, we're in shield wall and ready to just close the jaws on them. I do eventually tell the Sicilian player to move back this fresh unit of spears. We don't really, or swords, sorry. We don't really need them here anymore. But yeah, I've still got a decent amount of elite soldiers. I've got 2 units of Lancia Sargente left. Both of my pikes and both of my halberds are still fresh. Can go ahead and pop this back onto play here. Get right into the blood and gore of the battle. You can just see how much more heavily armored my soldiers are than the sword milice. Oh, pushing a couple of them back there, though. And we're being kind of flanked by these halberds, too. We have to be careful of that. But I think my archers are still firing, hopefully. And those arrow towers getting a lot of kills as well. But yeah, look at this spear unit. It's lost 60 men, so it's still well over half strength. It's eager. It is exhausted. He does have another unit of Lancia Sargente in behind, but these halberds are starting to break now. Yep, there they go. And that just causes the sword millis to break as well. So that is pretty much the last of the Latin Empire. You can see he's moving his general and some of his cavalry over to this flank. Over here, it looks like we've got some Bulgarian spearmen ready to hold. And we got the Bulgarian guard in here as well. And then over here, we've got another little pocket of fighting. So we've got the Crusader swords fighting against, I think these are just the heavy infantry. Oh, macemen. Macemen against the military order swords. We've got more Bulgarian guard coming up. You can just hear the butcher's work going on over there. Yeah, this Bulgarian guard is kind of a little out of its element. It's getting flanked around kind of on both sides. So that's really not the best option there. But you can see right here. Oh, no, sorry. This is the Bulgarian forces. I think it's this unit that comes up. I do end up focusing my archers on this very elite unit of Crusader Armati, because he does put them right in range. So I'm going to start to pick apart their hit points at this point. Hit points at this point. Oh, man. Yeah, just pick apart their hit points so that when they do charge into melee, they're pretty easy to take down. So that is looking good over there. But yeah, the Bulgarians are getting a little bit depleted here. Let's run over to the other side, take a look at how the Hungarians are faring. Still pretty much the same story. They've got another unit of sergeants in there. This is actually probably the one that broke and then returned. But they do have another unit of sergeants waiting to charge in as well. Do you hear the soldier too? He's like, does anybody recognize this head? Like, I think you have more worries than, you know, finding the body that matches that head. Let's maybe do that after the battle. After the battle's over. Looks like we got a fight over here as well. Yeah, the Hungarians sending some of their sergeants to aid the Grand Master of the hospital. And it looks like we got some Loricati that were going to come in, but I guess they changed their mind. This Bulgarian heavy infantry has their work cut out for them, holding back these heavily armored Hungarians, as well as the Grand Master of the hospital. He's going to make short work of this infantry. He does have another unit of swords, though, that are ready to defend, so that is good. He's watching his flanks pretty well. Except for over here. I'm a little bit worried over here. Looks like they were chasing down some retreating forces, but now this cavalry is just going to be able to break these units very quickly. I'm not sure where they were charging. They missed, like, most of them. There we go. That's it. Yeah, that pretty much destroyed those two units. And then we got some more of the Loricati moving in on this flank as well. But yeah, here we go. So we've come back, and look at all the damage my archers have done over here. One of their units down to 23 men, and the other one down to 42. This is a very expensive unit. But now I realize, I was like, oh crap. I kind of realized that my archers are exposed, so I'm going to charge one of them in and try to get the other one out of there. Looks like the Bulgarians also are pushing in their archers as well. And we're just trying to fire on this general with our archers now that he's moved kind of into our position. Whoops, sorry guys. Keep mixing up K and N here. Yeah, so I got this unit of archers firing down as well. We've still got a stronghold on the bridge though, so that is pretty good for us. You can see I'm withdrawing my archers across the bridge. They must be terrified. Seeing all of that cavalry charge forwards. Oh, and here comes the big hits of the artillery, gonna soften up the defenses. Oh, man. Yeah, so that is also a good play by the Crusader player. This would be suicide to charge into these pikes with the sword unit that's backing them up. So he is going to soften it up with the artillery ammo that he's saved from his catapult, which is a really, really good call. I'm going to kind of run over to focus on most of those big shots. But yeah, the Bulgarians, they are holding on this flank, which is excellent, but our archers are quickly breaking to the might of the Latin Emperor. Oh, this is the Latin Emperor. Oh, so he's getting some revenge on my soldiers there. Oh, those missed. Good try, though. But I'm moving forwards my elite foot condottieri. Gonna try to shove our way through the lines and then up the bridge. Praying that we don't get hit by the catapult in the meantime. There we go. Let's jump to the front of the pack here. Maybe not the guy, the flag bearer, though. He's blocking our view. That's a little better. So they've heard that the Latin Empire is here and they want to cut off the head of the snake. Looks like he's going to charge into our men, though. Yep, slowing down a lot of our men. Here comes more of the soldiers. Oh, yeah, getting a good charge off on my elite infantry over here. That's not the best thing. I don't want to see that. I've got another unit that's coming to support, but unfortunately they already slaughtered over 30 of my men with that charge, so well done there to the Latin Empire. But their general is getting quite depleted. Looks like they got a rear charge on the Bulgarians as well with this cavalry. Can go ahead and pop this on slow motion. It's going pretty fast. But yeah, just look at the piles of dead bodies underneath these soldiers fighting. Just slipping and sliding everywhere. That's so gross. Yeah, this cavalry is probably going to break the last of the Bulgarian resistance on this side. Oh, and some nice hits as well over there on those pikes. Doing some damage, that's for sure. So yeah, pushing forwards my forces to try to break this cavalry as quickly as possible. Over here, though, it looks like the Crusaders have successfully driven us back. But the balance of power is looking pretty good for us now. We actually have quite a bit more men than they do. Breaking down one of the towers there. I've actually got my archers over here who have used all their ammo. I pushed them to the front lines to attack these sergeants here, which inevitably will lead to their death, but that's my plan because you don't have to pay dead men. So if I can get rid of these archers, you know, if I know that I'm going to win the battle, just kind of expend the weaker troops and then have more change in my pocket for coffees afterwards. Yeah, they're cheering because they broke my archers, which is to be expected. But regardless of that small victory, the Hungarians have still not created a foothold in our settlement as of yet. They haven't even broken down the gate as well. We got a really depleted unit of spears over here to hold. And it looks like they're doing pretty well on this flank, too. The Grandmaster of the Hospital down to 21 men. They've got their Loricati over here, a fresh new unit, but looks like the Bulgarians are doing quite decently, which was surprising. I thought that the halberds would have just chewed through quite a bit of these heavy infantry units. They're like fighting in the market stalls as well, around like the cured meats and everything. I would probably try to grab a snack if like that was like cooked meat, you know. It's in the middle of fighting. These guys are probably exhausted. They're hungry. Yeah, so it looks like they're holding up here. They want to establish a good foothold in this section of the city before they move forwards. He's doing an excellent job of really depleting a lot of my forces. I've got my free company footmen who were at the gate over there. I brought 2 of the more healthy units down. We're breaking some of the cav, which is good, and the other 2 units are extremely low health. Where's that general, though? He's still alive over here with 13 men. Oh, we've got the bombard firing in over here now? Is that what I saw? Yeah! Oh my goodness! What? What? Look at the damage on that! Oh my goodness! That is insanity! That was like 25 kills right there. I am so glad we caught that. That was a massive blow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. But yeah, if we can break this flank, then we're looking pretty good, I think. Again, no relief for this poor defense. I would probably just pull them back, I think. But yes, and there we go. One of my men has slain the Latin Emperor. He's moving in another unit of his Chevalier that's really depleted, but they're not going to be able to do too much here. So victory for the Republic of Venice against the Latin Emperor, who I guess historically would have been enemies. Ugh. Can hear the archers firing on us. I want to see when that bombard fires again. Oh, it just did. Oh, quick. Oh, that just missed. Actually, well, it's still got like 10 kills for missing. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least 9. Alright, let's take a look at the Hungarians over here. Yeah, he's getting a little more frantic. He's trying to get his Hungarian knights, just trying to find a foothold somewhere inside the city. Finally, looks like the Bulgarians were broken here by some of the Jerusalem spears, but the Grandmaster of the Hospital has been slain. And now they have to face this defense here, which is also being softened up, probably by enemy crossbow fire, I'd imagine. What are we looking for man count? Yeah, 3,200 for us and 2,000 for the attackers. So the attackers still could win this, but they've got some uphill trudging to do. That is for sure. He's probably just getting so many kills with this artillery, though. I'm gonna check out the artillery for. Wait. Let's pause that. I want to see this. Let's get it in slow motion here. Here comes the ball. You can see it flying. Oh, well, if that didn't deflate everything. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Let's go look somewhere else. But yes, as I haven't even shown anything over here, but we've completely defended this flank. There's no reason for me to keep, you know, really any of my soldiers over here. I haven't even fired my catapult yet, so I still do have some artillery, and I've got both of my units of pikemen as well, which will come in handy. But I pulled all of my units off the walls, so these are my troops that had been fighting on the walls. You can see 106 and 77 kills for them. They are active, and they're eager, so they are ready to go into melee once again. Just look at the slaughter so far in this choke point here.
Our men are breaking up.
Hungarians bring in some more soldiers forwards. Yep, they got some more sergeants pouring in over here. Can go ahead and put that back on play. See them moving into the city. At this point, we've kind of moved back a little bit. You can see that we've formed up in this section over here. So we got a double layered defense. So he is going to have a little bit of a foothold to get in. But he's still got a lot of work to do. That's for sure. We've got the spears for Jerusalem over here as well. But a lot of my soldiers just being wiped out. Crusader milites charging in. Got some of the Hospitallers archers as well. How much ammo does he have left there? Oh, pause. Oh, I hope this is a good one. I don't want to keep wasting your guys' time here. Alright, let's take a look. Bring on the bloodshed. And we got the catapult firing as well. Here comes the stone. It's looking pretty good this time. Oh, yes! Look at that. That's insane. And then the catapult coming in, burning a couple of them as well. Oh, man, that is just sickening.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Wow. Yeah, so definitely getting softened up over here for sure. But unfortunately, it looks like they have... I think they have maybe one more shot each. Actually, the catapult has more, but the bombard has one more shot. But down to the last 14 minutes of the battle. I'm sending forward some more of my troops. My free company footmen that were at the gate. They are moving forwards. I got my general down here as well. And look at that. They're actually breaking through here. Oh, their cav just broke, but they did manage to break those pikes, so well done to the Kingdom of Jerusalem. He's really using his crossbows effectively, and then his cav. Come on, men, push them back. There we go. We got some more reinforcements coming in. Yeah, we got some pikes coming in. I'm going to send my archers over there. Not that they're going to be much help, but you can see I'm slowly moving forward some of my Lancia Sargente as well. Now all the Hungarians are doing well. We got some artillery fire, as you can see in the background, firing over the city. Yeah, Hungary's had a tough go over here. This is a really awkward position to attack from. Just because, for those of you guys that are wondering why he's only attacking there, this section of the wall here with these little kind of neighborhoods outside the city, this whole wall is indestructible. You can't attack through here. And then if he moved all the way around to the other side, it's the same thing. All of these little areas here, you can't attack from. So that's why Cath really does favor the defenders. It's a very strategically snug city. Got my general over here as well. I'm going to be charging him into the fight very soon. If he's not already in there. I think he is. That's the heavy plate. The heavy plate cavalry that you see is my general bodyguard. Nice charge again. Just trying to break these archers here. Got a couple units of my free company footmen still fighting, but their morale's probably dropping pretty easily. Yep, they're shaken. And my foot condottieri have broken as well. Got some Hospitaller heavy caravan moving in now, trying to defend their general, the English king. Oh, they're going for our generals now. Sneaky, sneaky, but my ally, the Sicilian... Oh, sorry, this is the Bulgarian general moving in. He also wants some revenge against the English king. You can see he's dropping quite rapidly. Would like to find the English king in here, but I don't know exactly. Oh, there he is right there. So he is still alive. He's retreating. Oh, he's breaking, that's why. We'll push on after him. Don't allow him to escape. Charge. Charge through this Hospitaller heavy caravan and this great bombard crew that's holding us back. He's just watching his men retreat. He's like, hey, come back.
We die or we triumph.
We die or we triumph. Well, most of your men have died, and those that are still alive don't really care for triumph at this point, so...
Our forces have found their courage.
Come on. Come on, Doge. Sending another catapult crew forwards to just slow us down. That's so annoying. How we doing over here on the bridge? They're pushing forwards. It's a little bit of a concern over here, just because we've got the Hungarians pushing on one side, and we got the Kingdom of Jerusalem pushing on the other. But we're funneling a lot of extra reinforcements over to here. You can see now that I have my 2 units of pikes over here as well, which is going to give us the edge against the sergeants of Hungary. Yeah, just pushing forwards, defending those Lancia Sargente. Yeah, you can see them just being pushed back further and further, back outside the city. Yeah, 2 units of pikes. This is an extremely solid defense. If I can get a shot of it, you can just see how thick the pike wall is. Imagine trying to shimmy in between those pikes and not get skewered. It'd be nearly impossible. Countercharged by the by the Lancia Sargente and some of the heavy infantry from Bulgaria. Yeah, they're starting to break. Excellent. Push them out. Push them out, pikes. And we broke them over here as well. My Lancia Sargente, with the help of the Spadaccini, managed to crack Jerusalem's forces over here. And... yep, my general's just running down the last of these Poland knights. Just look at this road of death here. I go ahead and turn off. So much death. That's what I really like about these mods and Attila in general, is it really just shows the carnage. In Medieval 2, you didn't really... Well, you did see that, but not as much and not as great of detail. But just look at this. He's firing his catapult over top of the city walls, landing some good hits on the halberdiers. So it's pretty much down to Hungary on this point. And yeah, it looks like we got some troops that are outside the city walls as well. Some Spadaccini charging in to some sergeants. So we are actually taking the fight to them, so the attackers now become the defenders. So we got some cav charging in as well. I think he's trying to get around the flank here to relieve his Hungarian forces that are inside the city. Oh, that was a nice charge, though. Really nice charge. But if we zoom out, look what's happened here. The poor Hungarians are actually trapped inside the city. Here come my pikes pushing forwards. But that cav actually did a number on that unit of Italian infantry. Ooh, some big hits on the halberdiers. Yeah, so at this point, I think it's safe to say that the defending armies will win this one, but the battle is not over yet. You can see that I'm moving forwards. 2 fresh units of Lancia Sargente. I'm going to bring them out of the gatehouse to flank around the Hungarians. This unit of Spadaccini, it's confident. It's still holding out against this cavalry. And I just want to see my glorious spears come through the gates here. The broken gates. Yes. The armies of Venice approach. Look how confident they are, too. They're just walking forwards like, yeah, we'll take you outside. That's no problem. Yeah, bring it on, bring it on. Look at the amount of forces that are pouring through this gatehouse. This is amazing. So we got a nice pitch battle going on here for the end, which is really cool to see. Most of his infantry, as you see, has been committed. He does have a couple units of pavasiers that are rushing forwards as quickly as possible. But I'm going to go ahead and try to engage these halberdiers with my spears. Or maybe, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with them. Yeah, there we go. So I am engaging these spears. Excellent. Let's go ahead and pop the slow motion here and just take a look at all of these Hungarian soldiers. I think they realize their mistake now. They never should have decided to attack the city of Kath. My pikes just holding all of this infantry and cavalry at bay. Meanwhile, right in behind, as you can see... Oh, nice. Oh, is this... No, this is our cavalry. Okay, I was going to say... Getting some good charges on the units in behind here. We got some artillery fire coming in as well. I'd be careful with that because he's going to kill a lot of my men. But yeah, outside the city walls, you can see I've got this one unit of spears that's holding back the halberdiers. And then I'm going to try to push one of my spear units into the backs of all of these soldiers and pin them there. And then I've got this unit of Lancia Sargente that's going to be holding against the pavasiers. We've got some foot condottieri as well pouring out of the city. I'm going to go over here with these spears and try to block this opening so they can't flank around. So all in all, a really epic battle. Let's go ahead and pop this back on play. Only 3 minutes left, and then I'll let you guys get to bed or school or whatever you guys are doing. For those of you guys that do celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I personally celebrate on the Monday, which would be just tomorrow, so yeah, happy Turkey Day. I'd be interested to see which would win, the Tier 3 Pavesiers of Hungary or the Tier 3 Lancia Sargente of Venice. Both ridiculously solid spears. Some more infantry moving forwards. You can see some cavalry retreating. There's no hope for the attackers at this point. I think eventually even my Doge comes out here. Yeah, here he comes. Just the rest of my infantry going to pour out here as well. Looks like we got some more of the Bulgarian Guard and foot condottieri ready to come out. Oh yes, here we go. Beautiful with my ally here, the Spadaccini, lining up some of these Spadaccini. And then he's going to just charge right into the backs of these Pavesiers. Excellent there. Completely outflanking them and surrounding them. It's getting pretty framey, interestingly enough. Even though it's the end of the battle, there's only... well, there's 2,200 men left. My pikes are still pretty healthy. Matthias Rex is wavering, although he has steadied himself now that my spears have broken. And here comes my Doge over here. I'm going to try to sneak him around those spears. And he's first going to plow into this unit of swords here. Oh yeah, just wrecking them. It was a depleted unit though, so couldn't really expect anything about that. Let's go ahead and jump into my general for these last seconds of the battle. I think I should be moving them forwards to attack those archers very soon. Yeah, let's try and jump up to the front of the pack here. Apparently that's impossible. There we go, that's pretty close. Finishing off the last of these Pavis crossbows. Nice charge there. See you later, Hungary. See you later. And what's left on the battlefield, I think that just about does it. General Matthias Rex, he is still alive, but he is wavering.
Our men are breaking up.
Oh, I think that's it. I think all of their units are routing. He's just going to do one last ditch charge. And there we go. So a Pyrrhic victory. A very, very awesome battle. Let's take a look at the results, and then we will end the episode here. So here are the players. So thanks very much to my allies and my enemies for joining. So taking a look at the Bulgarians first. Pretty low kills on their spears, but that's to be expected. Their Bulgarian guard, one did okay. He did well with some of his macemen, his archers, and his catapult and his general. Then taking a look at my spears, 153 there, that was pretty good. Didn't really use my foot condottieri too effectively. I charged them into cavalry, which wasn't the best, but 134 with my pikes, 215 free company footmen, my cavalry doing well, a couple of my archers doing well, and the Doge doing well. Looking at the Sicilians, pretty all-around good kills, I would say. Nothing too spectacular, but nothing, super terrible. And then looking at the Latin Empire, he really suffered, unfortunately. It was just because of those arrow towers taking a lot of these sword militia out before they even reach the walls. And plus, I think I burned 3 or 4 of his towers down. But he did get 145 with one of his cavalry units and 127 with his general. Looking at the Crusaders, 280, 139, 101. So yeah, using those really effectively. Military order swords got slaughtered. They didn't do too well, but his actually this heavy caravan 287. That's insane. And looking at the Hungarians, doing pretty solid with his archers. A couple of his units of sergeants not doing too bad. But other than that, yeah, that's about it. So, yes, this is just over an hour. For those of you guys that stuck around to the end, thanks very much. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more 1212 content in the future. And I will see you in the next one.